Hi there, I'm Stacy, the encaustic mixed media artist behind Studio Stacy. Encaustic literally means to burn in. So I paint with beeswax and a torch, and because it's mixed media, pretty much anything else I can get my hands on. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Consider subscribing and joining this artsy community. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, which helps me get introduced to more like-minded artsy folks like yourself. Good morning. It is beanie season out there today. Rather dreary, kind of sleety, rainy weather. At any rate, in the studio and trying to stick to my 2 hours a day. This is the first day, so write this down. Anyways, my plan is this. It's a bit of a mess. It's hard to get angles going on here, but I have things kind of everywhere in here. And I want to shoot a studio tour. As a matter of fact, fingers crossed, we will have shot it and it will already be out. If it is, I will link it, I think over here, up here somewhere. And you can go check that out if you haven't seen it. But the plan is to get everything kind of cleaned up so that I can shoot the studio tour. So yeah, let's get to cleaning. Alright, I think the space is looking a bit better, and I even got a small little sketch done. So progress being made in the studio and actually spending time in the studio. I am going to leave you here for today. Unfortunately, I have a bunch of errands I have to get done today, so I'm going to be leaving here in about a half hour to go do all that stuff. But yeah, first day, 2 hours spent in the studio. It was good. And yeah, stay tuned. Like I said, I'll be picking you guys up, I'm sure for you. It'll just be a few seconds. But stay tuned also, or if you're interested, go check out that studio tour. It should be up by now. Anyways, see you later. It has also just started to snow, so that's exciting. Actually looking forward to driving around and doing these errands. I think it's going to be very, very pretty out. So anyways, I'll pick you guys back up in a bit. Good afternoon. I had every intention of coming over here a lot earlier in the day. However, it was pouring down rain and I needed to edit a video, so I decided rather than dragging my computer out and over here, I would just stay in the pole barn in the camper and edit the video over there. So anyways, it's now much later in the day and I've made it to the studio, so that's at least good. Day 2 of getting in here, so good news there. I'm hoping that the audio on this is okay. The creek is flowing like crazy. We've had so much rain and then snow and then rain, and it's just really flowing like crazy. So hopefully this audio is okay, because you can hear it in the studio over here. But back to why I picked the camera up and why I came over here initially. We went to storage to get a few other things, and every time I go there, I come across a studio box. I try to bring it back with me because there's no point in having it in storage, even if it's something I may or may not be using right away. It's good to get it out of there, and then it's kind of front and center in my head and in my mind, and if I decide I eventually want to get rid of the stuff, I can do that. So let me flip the camera around and show you what I have in the studio today. It's kind of some random bits and bobs. That diffuser and this pile of very old, very random artwork was in a box with a few other things. So I'll flip through this later because it's probably pretty comical for all of you. And then I also found, I'm sorry about the glare there, also found the scanner, so I thought I'd bring that over. And then a box of stamps, markers, and pens. No idea if this is paint markers, like acrylic paint markers, or if I can use this stuff with encaustic, or what it is, but we're about to find out. I'm hoping I can fit my scanner onto the bottom shelf on my desk down there. So I'm hoping that is like art show supplies and things like that in that box. So I'm hoping I can move that box and put the scanner down there, and it will fit down there and not overhang that shelf too much. Well, it is down there, but I don't really know how stable it is. So I think I might try to see if it fits on this shelf over here, just to see. All right, well, that did not fit on the printer stand area either. It was, I don't know, a couple inches too short, the printer stand was. So I found another place for it. I thought about just laying it on the floor underneath the desk, but the problem is, you know, if I'm sitting there working, I don't want to roll into it on my chair or anything like that. It is a piece of equipment, a scanner. It's a nice scanner. I don't want to break it. So after wandering around the studio, I also thought about putting it up there in the loft. But because it is, again, a breakable piece of equipment, I was afraid if I was trying to get it up and down in the loft area, or it would, you know, be difficult to do, or I would smash something into it. I don't use it that often, but it is nice to have on hand. And eventually, I keep saying everything's gonna go into the barn dominium loft area, but it might eventually go up there. I don't know. We're gonna just have to wait and see how that all lays out. But at any rate, back to here in the studio. Let me show you where I found a spot for it. All right, so I ended up putting it on this side of my work table in this cabinet here. I can easily slide it in and out. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff on that shelf, and so I just moved it down here. It's not the best spot, but I think it's gonna work. I think the organization in this studio is going to be a work in progress for quite some time. So who knows if it's gonna stay there for a while, but I found a spot for it. It's put away, and now moving on to the next things. My diffuser happens to fit perfectly right there, and there also happens to be a plug right there, so I think that's going to work out beautifully. I have to get some distilled water to use with it, but yeah, as soon as I do, that will be up and running. I always liked having a diffuser in my old studio for a couple different reasons. One, of course, it smells delightful. And, you know, you can put different essential oils in it for focus and defense mechanisms and, you know, all kinds of lovely stuff about essential oil. I'm no expert, so don't ask me essential oil questions. But I also like it for the humidifying purposes, as it's, you know, the heater's on in here a lot and the wax is going, so it does get a little bit dried out. So I think this space is actually fairly small enough where it might actually provide some humidifying benefits as well. All right, moving on to those art pieces. Some of this is labeled 7th grade, so I'm thinking it's from the 7th grade, but I'm not 100% sure, and it's yellowed in a lot of areas. Obviously not archival, but I just thought it was kind of funny. I'd give you a quick preview here of art from me in, I think, the 7th grade. Some of it might also be from 6th grade. I'm not 100% sure. Also, I don't know if the camera is picking up on it, but clearly I was into nature and trees back in the 7th grade. I also have no idea what I'm doing with it. I might just kind of tape it into a sketchbook for nostalgia purposes. I don't know. For right now, I think I'm probably going to stick it in my map drawers just to have it out of the way, but I thought it was kind of comical, and I still have it after all these years. So yeah, I'll probably just put it in the map drawers and go from there. And let's see what's in this box. It was stamps and markers, exactly how it was labeled. These are not paint markers. They're water kind of color markers, aqua markers. And in here, I also have, down here, some Copic markers. And then a marker pad, which I'm not even sure I've ever used, sadly enough. So this was a good box to come across because all of this stuff I can use with encaustic. I just now have to find a spot to put it. I had this clear plastic container left over from something else that had emptied out. So I'm transferring the markers out of this kind of bigger shoebox into the clear plastic container so I can easily see what's in it. And since a lot of these markers are water-based, I'm going to put it into my water media cabinet. And I know the Copic markers are not water-based, they're acrylic-based, or not acrylic, alcohol-based, but I think I'll just try to keep them all together over here in this cabinet, and hopefully I remember that they're over here. Then the very last order of business here is where to put all of these stamps. And it just so happens that I have a map drawer already started with some stamps. These must have been in another box, and I must have had the foresight to think this is where stamps should go. And I think they're all going to fit nicely. I think this is going to work really nice for these stamps. I've gotten all of them in here, and you can really see what each stamp is. You don't have to flip through everything. I think it's going to work out beautifully. Good afternoon. Back in the studio, and it's afternoon already, and I've been working on the computer for the past hour or so in here, just editing a video and then backing up all the files to that video, all of the fun stuff that goes into creating YouTube videos. So this is almost done backing up, and I'm going to be moving on to still some computer work, but also like more documentation and some computer work for the research for the possible upcoming tree series. I have this stack of library books that has to get back to the library, so I needed to finish the research using these books so I can then return them to the library. I'm going to attempt to show you my process here. I think I noticed a couple of videos ago when I record my screen, it's not recording it real clear. So I'm hoping it's going to come out clearly enough. So this process first starts on the computer where I drag the tree name over to my research tab on Trello. And then from there, I go to my phone. And with my phone, I can take and scan documents or the copy of a book. And of course, I also make sure I add in the book reference, like the title of the book, the author, all of that stuff. I don't want to infringe on any copyright things here. So I can scan the text of the book, and then from there I go back to the computer and edit any of the text that needed edited. So sometimes it doesn't get the margins because, you know, the books have the little crevices in that margin area. Sometimes it doesn't get the margins, or it kind of auto corrects a word or something like that. So I go back to the computer because it's easier for me to type on the computer and correct all of those errors. It's really cool. I had no idea that I could use my phone to scan text and it just automatically types it out for me. So I just thought it was really cool, and I don't know, maybe you'd be interested in it. Plus I'm in the studio, so I thought, well, why not record the process? I then just repeat this process for all of the reference books that I have. If there's nothing kind of new in a reference book, I just don't worry about using that book. And yeah, just keep repeating this process over and over and over. So not super exciting, but I think it's going to be very handy to have. Hello, in the studio for, I believe this is day number 4. And today I kind of have a more business agenda to do in here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a painting day again, but I did get to the grocery store. I don't know if you can see back there. Got some distilled water, so I am going to get my oil diffuser, essential oil diffuser going, and try to do some concentrating today. All right, so now that I've got that going, the plan for today is tomorrow is Saturday, and so Matt's going to join me in the studio tomorrow to film a basic encaustic tools video for my newsletter subscribers only. I know you guys have heard me talk about this, but if you're interested, I'll put a link down below. You can subscribe. So today what I want to do is get all of my make a list of the tools I want to include in that video, so that then when we go to film it tomorrow, I'm ready to go, and hopefully it won't take up our entire Saturday, even though it's always fun to be in the studio with Matt. So that is my plan for today and here. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to film this for you guys. I might just do a time lapse, but I'm going to take notes on my phone, and then I'll probably get a little bit more detailed of a script, not a script, but a little bit detailed, more notes, so I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. And I think a good place to start in here in the studio is in this cabinet, and then also in this cabinet. All right, my time is up in here today. I know that probably wasn't super exciting for you all. I made a ton of notes on my phone, and yeah, I'm going to need to go do a few errands and a few other things today, so I need to get out of the studio. If you happen to be interested, like I said, just sign up down there below. I probably will already have that video out by the time I upload this video. So as soon as you sign up for the newsletter, you'll automatically get that supply list and private video if you're interested. So anyway, I'm gonna let you go and I will pick you guys back up later. Good morning. Yes, that's right. It is morning and I'm actually in the studio. So that's kind of a bonus here. I haven't made it into the studio in the morning in a long time, and I'm here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be painting today in the studio. It is, of course, day number 5 of me coming into the studio, and unfortunately none of those days have been painting days, but today I have to get back onto the computer. I have to pull some old footage from old videos off of my external hard drive and stick them onto my computer so I can create a video of basic encaustic supplies for my newsletter subscribers. I'm guessing by the time this video is out, that video will already be out for my newsletter subscribers. So if you're not on that list and want to get on that list, I'll link it down below. But at any rate, I've probably mentioned that 10,000 times in this video. So this portion of this video is probably not super exciting, but I did just want to document that I'm back here in the studio for day number 5. All right, I just went through what I think is about 2 years of YouTube videos. It is fun to look back, but that took several hours. I'm glad I do have the footage to all put together for this video, and fingers crossed it's going to come out really nicely. But it took a bit longer than what I thought, but like I said, it's fun to look back and kind of see like the first video I ever created versus kind of where I'm at now. Even though I'm not painting much now, and I did take note, I was painting a whole lot more back when I started this channel. And having said that, I really do hope to get in here and paint more and not just have kind of weeks like this where it's more business end of things. There's a lot of admin stuff that I really needed to get caught up on. So I'm glad I did make the commitment to spend 2 hours in here, because I don't think this basic encaustic supply / tools video would be coming out had I not. It's all of this takes a lot more time than what one would think, but no regrets. I really enjoy doing all of it. So all of that to say, I really am planning on getting in here and painting most of next week. I hope that's going to be the case. Like I said, I have several hours, probably a couple days maybe worth of work to do on this video and editing this new video, but after that I'm really hoping to get in here and paint. So matter of fact, I have a question for you guys while I'm in here. I don't know if you remember, but that stack of panels, that box is full of panels, and I have more panels behind all of those. I don't know if you remember or were with me when I was in the old Ohio studio and Matt and I made all of those panels. But I want to take and get these sketches that, again, I've made probably, I don't know if this is like 9 months ago now, a while ago now, and get some of them transferred onto those large panels and painted on. So my question to you is, out of these 6 sketches, do you have a favorite? That's my floor squeaking, if you can hear that. All right, we'll call this sketch number 1. Sketch number 2. Three, 4, 5, and 6. Do you have a favorite one? I am thinking that will be the next large painting that I do, one of these 6. If you have a favorite, let me know down there below in the comments if you do have a favorite. I would love to know, and maybe I'll just, whatever one gets the most votes, if you will, maybe that's the first one that I will do. And then in the meantime, I have these sketches over here that aren't bad, but I feel like they need something else. And so I think these sketches I'll probably maybe rework a bit in the meantime. And then also in the meantime, I'm still going to be doing the tree research on the West Virginia tree series that I want to do. So, but in order to get me out of the computer and into painting mode, I need to start painting something. So I thought I would go back to some of these sketches, start kind of tweaking the ones I don't like, maybe redoing them completely, and then with the ones I do like, sticking them on to larger panels. And then, like I said, in the meantime, continue to do the research on those West Virginia trees. All right, so there you have it. 5 days in the studio. I feel like I don't have much to show for it. I know I do, but it just, you know, nothing physical really to show for it. So, but I promise I'm going to be doing more painting videos. I know I keep saying it, but I really, really, really do want to get in here and start creating. Plus, it's a little chilly in here, so heating up the wax should, in theory, also warm the studio up. So, anyways, kind of short and sweet vlog for this week. If you liked it, you know what to do. Give it a great big thumbs up. It really, really does help me out. And I do want to thank you so very much for sticking with me as I kind of navigate this new year and get back into painting. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.